Yes, Jizzobler, which I love the title. So Faith No More, that record especially when it came out, I was in grade school, and my best friend at the time and I put that on cassette tape on, and I remember just sitting there in his room and just not like I knew the song Epic. They had their big single off the record before that. I knew that Faith No More, but this was a different Faith No More. This was a darker, artistic, strange Faith No More. And it took you on a ride. Like that whole record it's a roller coaster ride of music. It's so different from anything I'd ever heard. That song in particular, you hear Mike Patton really go for it. It's him singing in operatic mid tones, and then it's him screaming these crazy, which I didn't know at the time were fry screams, these really high screams, and then he does these yells. Like his voice is just doing everything on that song, and it's so heavy, but it's got a groove to it. And then the keyboard has a whole other layer to it. So there's just these textures and layers that my young brain would have never put together. I knew what Metallica was. I knew what early days of like punk rock was. I was just getting into punk rock. I knew what classic rock was. I knew what, progressive rock was with weird 70s keyboards. And somehow they were just mashing all of that together in this very odd, unique way. And I would say for sure that album still inspires me as a vocalist to like try to do something different over a part. If I'm handed a piece of music and it's got a blast beat over, I'm like, let me try to sing something cool melodic over this. Or if I'm handed a part where it gets quiet, like let's scream over the quiet part. And that all can filter back down to that song, that record, and Mike Patton in those early days of Faith No More. Just there's nothing to this day, nothing that can touch that shit. It's so unique.
Well
Hell
said.
yeah.
Yeah, it's easily my favorite Faith No More album. It's so good from start to finish. It's so good. Yeah, great choice.
Thank you. Yeah, and diverse too. Like just diverse. Like the song RV where it's like he's pretending to be an abusive father. Like what? The song is brilliant.
Yeah,
It's brilliant. It's genius. So yeah, there's the
amazing.
first one. I still put that record on, and I'm still in awe of it all these years later.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it would have been one of the biggest ones that I listened to at the time. Me and Todd got our own story about that, about playing that for a bus full of our was it our tour
Yeah, yeah. We were in America on a
counterparts.
Kentucky tour, and the guy running it, he was a big he was like a 80s metal fan, and I was like, "Do you like Faith No More?" And he's like, "Well, everyone likes Faith No More." And I'm like, "No, but do you like Faith No More?" And so we put on Angel Dust over the bus, and I think a few people abused us, and I think it was this song as well that got people upset. I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, we haven't made any friends. Definitely not getting laid tonight." Fantastic.
Wait, I need to rewind. So did you say a Kon-Tiki tour?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a rite of passage for Aussies. Everyone else, we come to America on a bus. It's like 7 days plus of drinking, late nights, sightseeing.
yeah.
It
It's
was our
interesting because
first trip.
the Kon-Tiki is a ship that sailed in I think it was the Pacific. Do you guys know about the history of what that? Look
No.
up dude. There's another nerd. I watch a ton of documentaries and I read a bunch of books, but Kon-Tiki was yeah, we're gonna get nerdy just for a second here. Uh, an
Man, this is your
unmotorized
show.
an unmotorized craft that a bunch of scientists and explorers boarded, and I don't have my geography right, but they wanted to prove that you could make it from, I want to say, Tahiti to South America, some crazy distance, and they proved that this is how they settled those islands. So look up Kon-Tiki. There's a documentary with old black and white footage. It is fascinating, and they discovered flying fish, like just crazy, crazy stuff. What these
Hell
guys
yeah.
did, and they rode a raft like thousands of miles.
That's probably
It's
where it
There you
got
go.
its name. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like,
Which is
yeah,
odd that
it's
it was just a drinking bus trip, but yeah.
Yeah.
man, you go to on any Kentucky in the world, I reckon 90% of them will be drunk Australians. That's just what we do.
Drunk
We don't
Aussies,
know.
yeah, that's it's pretty standard. I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of why I love
Well,
you guys, man. Aussies, man, they're fucking quality human beings. Crazy and can be very violent, but man, funniest fuckers on the planet, Australians, for sure.
Yeah.